Hey, what's going on, team? We're here with one of my newest favorite clients, Teresa. She has honestly been crushing it. Um, and I just wanted to get on here and just talk with her and talk about her progress and talk about the program and just her journey. I tell her this all the time. Her journey is going to be super inspiring. Obviously, you guys don't know some of the stuff I do. Well, maybe she'll allow us to speak about some of those things. But long story short, she's going to have an inspiring story. And it's a blessing to be part of that, to facilitate that story so other people, her peers, her micro community can see like, oh my gosh, I don't have to be this burnt out nurse running with like a running around like a chicken's head cut off. And I can actually have control over my life and my health. So it's a blessing to be here, and it's a blessing to be your coach, Teresa. Okay. Um, Real quick, just give the people a quick background. I know the host is supposed to introduce, but let's do things backwards here. I want the person that we're speaking about today to give us an intro on them, because everybody loves talking about themselves, right? So give us a brief rundown, Teresa.
Um, I have been a nurse for 12 years. I was born and raised in Ohio and started out as a certified nurse's aide. Moved to Arkansas, where my husband is from, and that's where I went to nursing school at. I spent the next 15 years there,
Okay.
7 years as an RN in the ICU there,
Nice.
doing travel nursing during COVID. Um, a few different places in Arizona, and then traveled to New Mexico. Ended up staying in Albuquerque for a few years, and then
Wow.
about a year and a half ago, I moved back to Arizona
Yeah.
to school, go back to school to get my master's
Yeah.
in nurse practitioner. And then I've done a ton of stuff on the side. Wes did 3.5 years of forensic nursing
Oh wow.
while in Arkansas. I don't even think I've told you this.
Oh,
Um,
see, that's why we're doing this. I'm learning a lot about you now.
I'm still working full time on the weekend in the ICU, and then during the week, I was on call for the crisis center, and I was doing sexual assault nurse exams
Wow.
for like 3.5 years. It was very different, a very different side of nursing, but very rewarding
Yeah. Yeah.
getting to help in that situation. Uh, what else? I've gotten a ton of different certifications, and I go to conferences all the time.
Oh, I know that part.
It's learning.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is amazing. You've been obviously all over the place, all over the place. You have an extensive background in nursing, a wide array of focuses. I didn't even know like you did the sexual assault thing. Much respect. That's awesome. Um,
I've
so
done stuff now. I forget half.
It's all these things you just start missing. You're just forgetting. Oh, I did that too. Well, that's what happens when you save all these lives. You kind of forget the lives you save. So, thank you again for all you do. Seriously. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this program that you're in now. What specific problems did you have um, before working with me, right? And how was it really affecting you?
I've almost always worked night shift for about the last 20 years,
Mm,
and had just a little time on day shift in between. But the lack of consistent sleep was
mm.
really me, and just probably even depressed at
Oh,
the point that I found videos on TikTok. It's like probably the lowest that I've ever felt, and just like I cannot keep doing this
yeah.
and change. And there was something about the video that I watched that was just, this is it. This
Yeah.
is you.
Yeah. And you know, it's crazy that so many nurses are kind of experiencing something similar to that, just at that low point, and especially working night shift, it's just draining. And I'm just like, how are you guys still just able to function as a human being. Talk less of being able to work 12-hour shifts and work at a high level, right? It's like you guys are sitting there twiddling your thumb. It's like, no, you guys are having acute patients. You guys are having critical decisions. You guys are dealing with, different aspects of healthcare, pharmacy, physicians, respiratory therapists, just dealing with all these things. And you're operating at like 2% capacity. So I see why they label you guys superheroes, but we shouldn't keep doing that because then we need to give you guys support. But that's a lot. That's a lot. And I'm really blessed that you saw my content and we connected and now, we're here, right? So, okay, walk me through the moment when you notice things actually start to change for you since being in this program.
When I first started the program, I was so overwhelmed with work and then also doing school and every for everyone.
Oh yeah, she's in school too, guys, by the way. I think you forgot that part.
Master's program. Um, Even out of like trying to meal prep or
Yeah,
what that would look like was so overwhelming.
yeah,
And then what you did with making that personalized nutrition plan and sending that to me and just being able to go off of that for the first several months before I started kind of venturing out and trying new things
yeah,
was so helpful because I could not make any more decisions at all at
yeah,
that point in time. So that helped so much. And then
yeah,
you're on the working out and what to do each day. And if there was something that I did that wasn't quite right, we talked about it. You came back with, instead of this, try this instead, see
yeah,
if that works better. And probably about week 3, I started noticing improvement in, like, my energy and stuff, and then over the next couple of weeks, my digestion greatly improved more than
yeah,
its life,
yeah.
um,
Wow.
and just all the little changes started pretty early.
That is awesome. It's funny because you guys you guys are very smart, obviously, and you guys make highly critical decisions at work. But then you come home, and you're like, "Bleh." You're just like your brain can't even function, right? Like I don't know what to eat. I don't know. I don't know. And because obviously what I'm doing is like you know grass compared to what you do at work, right? But it's not obviously a deficit in the knowledge or the how to for the most part. It's just a deficit in the actual energy to do anything because you guys are so depleted. And that's why I pride myself on trying to give you guys as much support as possible because that's what you guys need. Right? You're supporting everybody else in your lives, definitely in the hospital, but then you come back and you have this, this other side of your life, your health that you're trying to improve on, but there's no support for you and you're expected to pour out more into yourself when you've already poured out everything into everybody else. And I've seen nurses like struggle for like decades, like 30 years, 20 years, like, and it just sucks. So again, that's why I always say thank you guys for trusting me and being committed to the program because it's a two-part system, right? This can't work without you doing the work, right? Um, but yeah, I'm so glad to hear all of those improvements. And I know we had another conversation like around that time, and you had gave me like a rundown. You're still holding out a little bit, but it's okay. But you gave me a rundown, guys. Guys, there's a whole bunch more. She's being modest. I don't know why. This is the opportunity to not be modest at all. There's no judgment here. But yes, so many improvements. Um, and I know, the weight has been kind of up and down, right? And I do want to, I think this is valuable for some people listening. Um, is it okay if I talk about, some of the things that you were doing before the program, right? So, Teresa had been on, a couple of, different medications, different drugs, different GLPs. And, you're off of them now, right? Yeah, you're off.
Yeah,
Yes.
week 1
Week one,
program.
yeah. She was like, forget this. She's like, out the door. I found the right thing. So yeah, she discarded of those GLPs. But you know, a lot of the improvements you've been having have been internal, right? And some external ones, right? Again, she was gatekeeping, but her husband noticing how different her body's looking, right? Coworkers noticing, hey, you're looking smaller, like you're looking slimmer, like what are you doing? So she's experiencing that, right? But the majority of a lot of the results you've been experiencing are internal. And I want to talk about this because I know there's so many we just Crystal, she's new on our team. She's on a GOP. We're already weaning her off because she's noticing, once you start doing the right things and you're taking that, your body's like, ugh, there's like this dissonance, like, and she's noticing that, so we're weaning her off, right? Um, but people don't understand like how much those GOPs affect your bodies, right? Especially for women. You guys are disproportionately more affected than men, right? Because you guys operate more off of a hormonal cycle than us. We operate with hormones too, especially as we age, testosterone drops, it affects our libido, our energy. But you guys are on hormones since you were born. You guys are up and down. So those GOPs, especially taking them for an extensive period of time, they really affect your internal systems, right? And that's why I really appreciate you, Teresa, because Teresa has been consistent regardless, right? And obviously it helps. I'm sure it helps that you've been experiencing those other wins, right? The other internal wins, the energy, the looking smaller in clothes, the feeling just more vital, right? It's like, okay, you can actually feel it. So it's like, okay, I'm doing something right versus before. But for a lot of people, they can't. As not, if they don't see the scale go down, they're like, oh, nope, I can't do this. Right. So, and that's another problem I see a lot of people have. So, just really happy that you're experiencing those great results because those internal results they transition into the external ones, right? And it's because you're giving your body time to come back to equilibrium, right? Those drugs really mess up the homeostasis internally, right? And you're giving your body time to come back to equilibrium, right? And it's your body is telling you, hey, we're more energized, right? You're sleeping better, right? Not just sleeping longer, but you're sleeping better. Talk about that because you thought about that. That's like a key one right there. Please talk about how your sleep has drastically improved before we move on.
So at the start of the program, or even just before I started the program, there were a lot of days where I was only getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep.
Gosh. My ears are like, what?
It's fine. It's fine. I'll drink more.
Yeah.
Uh, there were not recently, but when I was in New Mexico, there was a point where I was probably consuming close to like 2,400 milligrams of caffeine a day.
My lord.
Like it was bad.
Wow.
Uh, but since starting the program and starting to do some of the stress management stuff after work has
Yeah.
really helped. I don't even know. It's like a whole different state of body. My
Yeah.
body feels calm. My mind feels calm when I lay down. I'm
Yeah.
not hours awake with my mind just racing. It's just calm and I'm ready to go to sleep. And I feel like I don't wake up as much. Maybe roll over to the other side once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just within a couple weeks that I wasn't getting up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the day to pee.
Good.
Uh, I was sleeping through the whole day, and now my average has been more like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Yes. And I can tell a huge difference on the days that I get the longer sleep.
Yeah.
And then recently, my crazy self with all this extra found energy, um, picked up extra shifts on day shift, but I'm also still working night shift.
See, guys, that I don't agree with. She'll get some more coaching on that later.
But I noticed that when I'm sleeping at night now
Yeah.
to work the day shift schedule, I sleep even better.
And people don't understand like you you can have all the right inputs in the daytime, right? You could do all the right workouts, eat all the right food, but if that sleep is not optimal, right, that is where all of the healing process is taking place, all the growing process is taking place. And of course, as a night shift nurse, that is a huge battle with a lot of night shift nurses is just getting good sleep, getting quality sleep. So, again, talking back to what we're saying that, hey, you're experiencing all these internal changes, which are inevitably going to lead to all of the physical manifestations of these changes. And that's why I'm just so happy and just continue to encourage and champion you because, like I said, your story is going to be awesome. But yeah, super glad you're getting that sleep. All right. What would you tell a friend or a colleague who's facing the same original problem that you had?
Um, that they don't need to keep going down that rabbit hole or that cycle, that there is a
Yeah.
way.
There's a light. It's right there. It's called minion training. Batman logo. It's like faint, but you can see it. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I asked that because some nurses really do think this is their life. Like this is their life of having no sleep, feeling like a zombie, not feeling confident in themselves, having no energy to do anything. Like they feel like that's their life. That's the bargain that they have to be a nurse and to save lives. They have to give up their own. I don't agree with that. I've never agreed with that, and I will never agree with that. I don't stand by that. So that's great advice. Please listen to Teresa. You don't have to keep going down that rabbit hole. Minion training is there for you. Okay. Um, and is there anything else that um, you'd want nurses to know about working with me?
His entire program is very, very personalized, and if there's any obstacles in your your weekly schedule,
Puzzles.
add add adding on extra days or, uh, going to class or whatever it is that you're doing,
Yeah.
uh, we'll sit down with you and adjust it and make it personalized, very personalized to what you need.
Yeah. Again, just that's what you guys need. You guys need support. A lot of people think like, okay, to really get to all these things I want to do, all the goals I want, there has to be a massive amount of inputs. And for some dimensions, yeah, that's true, right? For some niches or whatever, that's true. But in this case, it's actually kind of the opposite, right? You guys don't need all this massive support. You don't need a team of trainers and nutritionists. No, you just need something tangible, something real that meets you at where you're at, right? Because your schedule, a nurse's schedule, is unpredictable, especially with you. You're traveling, you got this and that, you got rotating shifts, you're in school, like all these moving parts. And if there's nothing to anchor you and adjust those moving parts, you're gonna get carried away by the storm, right? And a lot of nurses, so many nurses, it really does break my heart, are being carried away by the storm. Right. So I really appreciate that. You recognize that. And again, it's my privilege to do that for you guys. Right. Because I'm not gonna give you guys fluff. I'm gonna give you exactly what you need. Guys, I promise I didn't pay her to say this, okay? I promise. Um so
A lot of other programs over my life, and
Yeah, they just I don't like to say, oh, that program is bad, even if I know it's bad because we've had people on our team come from other programs. That's just not me. But what I will say is nurses need to recognize that a lot of programs are not made for them. Right? They could be really good programs for other people, right? Especially people working 9 to 5s, but those programs are just not good for a nurse's schedule. So you need to find something. It doesn't have to be me. It should be me because it's the best program for nurses. But find something that actually works for you and then have a mindset of commitment. Don't have a mindset of, okay, I need to reach this goal in the next 2 weeks. No, it just needs to be like, hey, how can I get 1% better every week, right? Which Teresa gets like 5% better every week. You zeroed out your macros. Yeah, I've never had somebody. That's why it's opposed. I'm like, I've never had somebody zero out their macros. Like, whoa. Even I have not. I've always been a little over, a little under. I'm like, hey, she outshining me. Like, what's going on? So that's really awesome. You guys need to stay tuned to Teresa's story. Honestly, it's going to be awesome. I foresee us working together for a while and having so much progress. And again, it's just a privilege and a blessing to work with you and change your life. And we will see you on the next episode. Peace.